Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are decoding the grocery store. I mean, do you ever feel like you need a science degree just to buy breakfast? Well, we're going to cut through all those confusing labels and marketing tricks to figure out what's actually healthy. Okay, so let's just dive right into this. If you've ever felt totally overwhelmed in the grocery aisle, trust me, you are not alone. You've got all these trendy diets, labels screaming all natural or low fat. It's kind of impossible to know what you should even be eating anymore, right? And here's the tough truth. A lot of those foods are what we call ultra-processed. That just means they're basically concoctions made in a lab, designed for a super long shelf life, not for your actual nutrition. They're often stripped of all the good stuff, which, ironically, just leaves you feeling hungry for more. So let's build a toolkit to spot these fakes. So our first rule starts with one of the most debated items in the kitchen: what you spread on your toast. Yeah, we're talking about upgrading your fats. You know, for decades, we were all told that butter was the enemy, and margarine was this heart-healthy choice. But just take a quick look at this slide. It tells a completely different story. Real butter, it's simple. Cream, maybe a little salt. That's it. Margarine, on the other hand, is often this chemical blend of highly processed seed oils, weird flavorings, and preservatives. Turns out, simpler is way, way better. And this really gets to the core of the problem. Those oils in margarine, we're talking soybean, canola, sunflower, they are incredibly inflammatory. Think of inflammation as your body's defense system just being stuck in the on position all the time, which can lead to a whole host of health issues. And the really scary part? These super cheap oils are in about 80% of the foods you find in those middle aisles of the grocery store. But, even when you choose real butter, they're not all created equal. The key difference, as you can see, is the fat content. American butter is usually about 80% fat, while European styles can get up to 85%. And that little bit of extra fat, it means so much more flavor, a creamier texture, and more of the good stuff. Now, here is the real upgrade. If you want the absolute most nutrient-dense option, you've got to go for grass-fed. See, when cows eat grass, their natural diet, the butter they produce is a nutritional powerhouse. We're talking 500 times more CLA. That's a healthy fat linked to reducing body fat, plus more omega-3s and way more vitamins like A and E. Okay, this leads us perfectly into our second rule, which builds right on top of that grass-fed idea. It is all about focusing on nutrient density. This simple phrase is maybe the most powerful concept for cleaning up your diet. It's not just you are what you eat, it's you are what you eat eats. The health of the animal and the quality of its diet gets passed directly on to you. This slide is the perfect example. Just look at eggs. Cage-free sounds nice, but it often just means the hens are all crowded together in a big warehouse eating grain. Pasture-raised hens, though, they live outdoors, eating their natural diet of bugs, worms, and grass. And the nutritional difference is staggering, as you can see. Double the omega-3s, triple the vitamin E, and 7 times the beta-carotene. It's not even close. And guess what? We see the exact same principle with beef. Conventional beef usually comes from cows fed a diet of GMO grains. But 100% grass-fed beef comes from cows that only ate grass their entire lives. The result? You get meat that has twice the CLAs and 5 times the omega-3s. Nutritionally, it's a completely different food. Finally, let's look at salmon. Here's a crazy fact for you. Farm-raised salmon is often fed a diet with colorants, just to make its flesh pink. Without it, the fish would actually be gray. Wild-caught salmon, on the other hand, eats its natural diet and is just nutritionally superior in every way, with way more healthy omega-3s, iron, and calcium. All right, it's time to tackle one of the most confusing parts of the entire store, the bread aisle. Our third rule is all about learning how to decode your carbs. Spotting real bread is actually pretty easy once you have this 4-step checklist. First, avoid anything that says enriched flour. That's basically just code for we stripped out all the good nutrients and then added some synthetic ones back in. Second, check for added sugars. Third, scan for those bad oils like soybean or canola. And fourth, demand high fiber. Real bread should have at least 3 to 4 grams per slice. And you have got to be extra careful in the cereal aisle. I mean, a box of Special K with fruit and yogurt might look healthy, but a single small serving can pack 12 grams of added sugar. That's like eating 3 teaspoons of sugar before you've even really started your day. Okay, our final rule is all about finding high-quality, convenient protein that, doesn't totally break the bank. Canned tuna is a fantastic example. It's incredibly high in protein, which is great because it helps keep you full and boost your metabolism. And at around $6 a pound, it's a fraction of the cost of most fresh fish. A quick tuna salad with a good quality mayo is a perfect protein-packed lunch.
You know, deli meat gets a bad rap a lot of the time, but it's usually not the meat itself that's the problem. It's all the additives. So when you're shopping, just scan the ingredients for these red flags: GMO cornstarch, added sugar, phosphates, carrageenan, and the really sneaky one, natural flavorings, which can hide all sorts of things.
So here's the simple takeaway. Always look for the shortest ingredient list possible. If it just says turkey, water, and salt, then you're getting exactly what you paid for, actual turkey, without all the unhealthy fillers and inflammatory junk.
And there you have it. That's your new shopping toolkit. It's pretty simple, right? Upgrade your fats, prioritize nutrient density from happy animals, decode your carbs, and find smarter proteins just by reading the ingredients.
Armed with this toolkit, you can see right through all that misleading marketing. This isn't about some fad diet. It's just about getting back to eating real, whole foods. So the final question for you is this: what health food fakes are hiding in your pantry right now?